Hello, welcome. I'm Caleb.
I'm Nate.
I'm Matt.
And we're
The Cos-Bros.
And welcome back. We are glad to have you today. Another podcast.
Another day
right?
from San Diego, man.
Yep. And we have some big things coming. We are actually going to WonderCon.
Yes.
2
All three of us.
Yes.
Can't wait.
And we've agreed that we're going to be there Friday and Saturday for sure, right? All three of us?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll be there
Definitely,
Friday,
definitely.
Saturday, and Sunday.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So leave a comment and we would love to meet up with you guys.
absolutely.
What are you guys going to be cosplaying as?
Oh, dang. You know, I'm upgrading my Star-Lord, so I'm really looking forward to showing that off. I have some friends. We're going to be the Guardians, so we're going to try and get some photo shoot for that. So I'm really amped about that. And you guys know me. I'm going to do like flash dance parties. So we're just going to be partying it up as well. So come by. If you hear music, that's where we're at.
I'm bringing the boombox out.
Oh, you bring the boombox?
yeah,
Nice.
it's Will. It has Wills.
Oh, sweet.
The vibes are getting high, just to let y'all know.
Smart,
I'm up
smart.
in the air. I am thinking possibly a Spidey on Friday night.
Ooh, man, that'd be nice.
Doing my white suit with the new silver web shooters.
Oh,
Okay,
that'd be
nice.
nice.
yeah, and then
Sick.
of course Saturday. We'll talk about that later, all right?
Oh, for sure.
Keep that one for later in the
got in the
podcast.
wraps, so you'll just have to come and find us, man.
Yep.
You
And
know.
then what do we got coming out of you, man?
All right. So Friday, did a hype of the Kenobi series. I'll definitely be going as Obi-Wan.
I love
Can't
that.
wait to do that. First time wearing them besides just for photo shoots and whatnot.
Mhm.
And then Saturday will be good old Endgame cap
Mhm.
because everyone's doing Marvel that day, it seems. And then Sunday I'll be doing another Nightwing.
Nice.
So,
Lots of stuff coming for you guys.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Super excited.
Very much so.
And today we have a special guest. We are bringing on a good friend of ours. His name is Eros. If you follow any of us on Instagram, then you probably have seen him in some of our posts. Robin to my Batman.
that's right.
He's an awesome Spidey.
He was actually, yeah.
Oh,
At LA
yeah,
Comic
jumped
Con,
in that
really good
category.
Spidey.
He does a lot of
real
awesome
naturally.
cosplays, but even more than that, he is a cosplay creator, and he actually runs a successful account, Backstage Cosplay, on Etsy, where he creates Mandalorian 3D printed stuff.
All the armor.
But
Yeah.
the cool thing about Eros is he's really good with making like real leather belts
Oh, yeah.
and bandoliers.
Yeah.
His Mandalorian bandolier is top notch, like
Very much
one
so.
of the best ones, if not the best you can get on the market. He's a really talented, awesome guy. And I'm going to leave the floor to him. So Eros,
Hey.
he's also coming as well with us to Anaheim to go to WonderCon. And what are you going to be doing?
Yeah, let's start with that.
Howdy, boys. Thank you very much for having me. Great intro. For WonderCon, I'm planning on starting off with Bullseye, finally debuting my costume, and I am so excited for it. It's probably my most hyped cosplay I'm doing so far. And probably going to be doing Green Lantern and Robin as well. A lot of DC this year. And yeah, mostly excited for this Bullseye, especially since Caleb might be doing Daredevil.
Oh,
soon.
that's what I was saving. The Daredevil versus Bullseye is happening,
Oh,
and it's
nice.
classic comic to the.
You gotta do it.
Y'all gonna freak out when y'all see this next
Dude.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
That's
you,
a lot
man.
of
I
work for
appreciate
that.
it.
Who was the creators
lot
of
of-
that suit?
So the main suit was made by Napier's Inc. They're the guys that made my Green Lantern suit as well, and they're also making my future vigilante suit.
Oh,
And
nice.
I'm so happy with their work, and like it is, it couldn't have been any better or translated any better than exactly what I had in my mind. And then when it comes to like the leather stuff, I made it all myself, and also the cowl, I just 3D printed that and then got it all finished up. And yeah, everything literally played out perfectly.
Yeah, I the final touches, right?
So
From
great.
the leather work really takes it to the next level.
Right,
So
right. And the cowl that you made, like, is just fits it so
Mhm,
perfectly, man.
mhm.
You did such a good job.
Yeah, I mean, that thing I had to print out at least 3 times because I wanted it to be exactly perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's actually an old Captain America cowl. I think it was from Civil War.
Okay,
And,
yeah. All right, that makes sense.
And yeah, I like sliced the back so that I can just slide it on, and I
Right.
didn't have to like separate the parts.
Okay.
Mhm.
And yeah, it honestly turned out even better than I thought. I didn't want it to look like it was exactly a Captain America cowl.
yeah,
Mhm.
And yeah, and then I might get some custom one made for me in the future so I can print it up with like more, I don't know, more details in it.
Yeah, some
I
more
wanted to
texture
have
or
like some
something.
raised
Yeah.
bullseye logo in there, and then I'll just
there you go.
work my way around that.
You know, I want to just give a quick shout out to somebody, Ludin Cosplays. We were just talking about him. He might be somebody that you should hit up for that, because he does a lot of really awesome 3D design work for great deals. You know what I mean? But the look you have is just insane, right, guys?
all the credit was credit is due, man.
And a huge shout out to Napier's as well, because I don't know if you guys saw their Battinson. Did you see their Battinson suit that they were making so far on Instagram?
I
was mind blown when I saw that.
It's looking insane.
It looks literally like the closest one to it. You know, it's kind of because it's kind of the fabric. The urethane looks good, but it kind of makes you so stiff. You know what I mean? And I think that the suit is a like really crisp, texturized like look when you really look at it. You know?
Yeah.
So, are you planning on actually doing the Batman?
It's a huge possibility that I'll be doing it, because I'm so in love with that suit. No matter what anyone says, I think it, for what it's supposed to be, I thought it was awesome, and just, it's a beautiful suit in my opinion. So yeah, it's definitely something that I might be doing, because I want to do one last Batman suit and then just hang up the cowl. So that one's definitely one that I was thinking of. If not, then I was probably gonna just do a Christian Bale Dark Knight suit.
Well, that'd be a good one to do.
They're both, a bunch of urethane armor plates.
Yeah, the real one.
Those are definitely the ones I really want to go for.
Yeah, I have to actually give Eros a big shout out, because he's helped us several times in a bit like of a kind of like a cosplay convention crunch when we needed items. This guy came through. He's
huge,
really cool. Dude. Yeah.
I mean, he made you the guns.
He did make the Star-Lord blasters.
The Daredevil mask that I have.
Yeah.
He printed that, and then did you get anything?
I haven't got anything from you. It's cool, man.
He didn't need anything.
Don't worry.
He didn't ask for anything. The cool thing about Eros is it was like 2 weeks out from the event, and he was just like, "Hey, if anyone wants anything, let me know." And like a couple other people did, and like he had all that stuff out for everyone.
For sure.
He's a real one.
Yeah, he's a real.
I'm still planning on making a full set of the Young Justice masks.
Ooh, that'd be so dope.
Yeah, get that going. I have like 3 printed out right now. I just didn't finish them yet.
Right.
But it's so great having you on, bro. Hey, I actually do want to talk about it for a sec. How dope was it going to get to go see the new Batman together? When
that was so dope.
It was literally the craziest movie ever. It was my favorite premiere I've ever been to, dude. I couldn't have been any happier. It was really a 10 out of 10 experience. Beautiful. No loud people or anything. No like babies crying in the back. I was like, this right here is, I'm on cloud 9. And the movie, I can't even start with how good it was.
Dude, I would look over at Eros and just like,
I was locked in.
No, seriously,
locked in.
My eyes did not move from right here.
It was one of those movies, like this Captain King, like just got you in that, like you're just like, wow.
But there's like so many little things, like not to bring it back, but like when the twins came in at the Iceberg Lounge, I was geeking out so much with that. That's those little things. I was like, yes,
my
that was
favorite.
freaking awesome, man. I was not expecting that at all. That was awesome.
I just love when he gets on the bike. He's like, underneath the bridge. And then like showing Gotham, and you're like, oh shit, this is where we at right now. Yeah, and it seems actually like this is something I want to talk about, that they're gonna maybe redo the Snyderverse. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Discovery.
Yeah, so Discovery, one of like the main investors in that, loves the Snyderverse, and basically what I'm thinking why they just put a big delay on all these DC movies. The only thing that makes sense is that they're having to do reshoots to add characters in, like Black Adam.
With the end of Justice League, and they introduced Deathstroke and everything, so you knew in the Batman movie coming up, it was probably going to have Deathstroke involved.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And it, like the Deathstroke reveal was, that suit looked sick.
It did look really sick.
It was gorgeous, man. And especially Joe Manganiello.
Yeah, that's the thing. He goes hard, dude. So I know that Ben Affleck said that he's never going to reprise the role as Batman, but I feel like that's just because Warner Brothers has kind of pushed him away so far that you're like, no. But then you see this love for Batman as a character through the Batman, and also these concept drawings that were just released about future looks of Batman suits and the Deathstroke suit. and a lot of like people like missing that, you know.
Yeah,
And
well,
so-
now that this movie did so well, I think Warner Bros. Are willing to put it back on the table and really escalate these projects.
It's like the thing is, Batman is versing and all the iterations of Batman
Right.
versing characters.
Mhm.
He's fighting people that are way less powerful than him,
True.
right? And that's all we've ever seen. And so there's been like conceptual drawings and information about like this fight between him and Deathstroke and how he was like losing in these battles. You know what I mean? And like how it was psychologically like messing him up, and like that would be dope.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
Just like you see in the Arkham Origins game when he faces Deathstroke, and it's like his first physical competition battle. And they make it in the game like that. Like you do get your ass whooped the first couple times you fight him. Like
That's
no
true.
matter how good you are, like they make it so you do feel like you sweat. And you're like, oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna make this. Like, you know, like, I can't tell you how many times in Arkham Knight when I was trying to find all the Riddler trophies, I was literally doing the same thing he did in the movie, where you're just in a room,
walking around,
standing there, but slowly scanning everything in. Like, all right, where's the blue at, man? Like,
I know.
That's what you have to do.
Exactly how it felt.
Arkham Knight was the only one I finished it too.
Yeah.
And it's literally just the most annoying thing ever. And the worst part is I saved it for last, and I was like, I'm really finishing this game in the worst possible way ever, by just wanting to throw my controller across the room because I'm so tired of these.
Enjoyed them. I like the puzzle.
Oh yeah, I know exactly how you are. You're like, how the hell do I do this? And you're just kind of sitting there.
That's
like,
a nice one. Yeah.
The new one that he gets when it first comes on, and it's like, and it's like it's all getting on, like
Tony Stark in it.
locked in. You're like, oh shit!
That's
You're like, that shit is crazy. It was like Dark Knight brought it to a bar, and then that shit was like, boom, took it to like 10 more bars. Like, oh, that shit was crazy. It's such a crazy suit.
All right, so let's jump into some Q&As with you,
Yes, please,
your
yeah.
Eros and your prop making experience. So my thing is I also have an Etsy shop. I do some simple props on there. We talked about it before, but I've always wanted to venture into doing 3D printing, but I hear so many horror stories and how you can buy the exact same model. Everything's the same, that the person that has successful prints left and right, but for whatever reason, when you try to do the same print, it's just failure after failure after failure. And then you'll get it going, and then like you'll come back 4 hours and it failed at some point. And it's like, how much of a headache do you deal with that on a daily basis? Because you have what, like 13?
I think it was
crazy
14,
amount
isn't
of
it?
printers, right?
Literally yesterday I had to buy 2 more printers, so I'm at 14 right now.
Lord.
And honestly, 50% of the time you're trying to stop yourself from throwing the thing across the room.
Oh, I believe it.
Because I mean, it gets hard, like making sure that you're getting consistent prints every single time, especially if you're doing what I'm doing, where I'm setting up all the printers and then I have to leave them while I'm working, and then I'm just crossing my fingers that everything works out and there's no failed prints, nothing cracks and slips over, or I don't run out of filament mid-print. And it can get pretty stressful, especially when one breaks or you know, a few just have problems at the same time, and then you're down 2-3 printers right there. But it's just trying to keep a cool mind. Maintain a bunch of maintenance on the printers is key to making sure that they're always running well, cleaning the fans and all that. It can get a little like repetitive and everything, but at the end of the day, if it's your job, you know, you got to just make sure that those things are pumping out as many products as you can, because I mean, those things are the ones making the money. So
that's true. Yeah.
Yep.
And next question for you real quick is, you're saying the money. How has the Batman affected your sales? Have you seen a lot of people getting that?
It's insane how much, because I started selling that thing, I'd say probably like September or October of 2020. Because that was when like they first showed the suit, and then everything started getting made for it. And like it was like a few purchases here and there, you know, it wasn't too hyped up. But then that trailer hit at DC Fandom, and it literally just skyrocketed. Now it's probably one of I past 2-3 months I've been selling it more than my Mandalorian parts, which
Makes
is
sense.
You know, my number one thing. It's what my shop is mostly based around. So it's really freaking cool seeing how many people want to get this suit done.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Right.
I've been just pumping those things out like crazy.
And I'm guessing a lot of like what's trending right now kind of affects your sales as well. Like, obviously with Batman being hot right now, it's a big thing. Probably when Mando 3 comes out again, that's going to boost up your Mando sales as well.
Yeah,
So.
totally.
Mando season 3.
I know, especially after Book of Boba Fett.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know, like right after Book of Boba Fett came out, I stopped. I wasn't selling much of the Return of the Jedi style, like gauntlets and shoulder pads and all that, and now I'm just selling a bunch of Book of Boba Fett. And my Mando stuff skyrocketed too because he was on the show.
Save the show.
And now I'm keeping busy making a bunch of leather stuff. Everyone was just
wanting that leather.
just order after order when it comes to the leather, and that's what I'm most happy about because it's cool. Like if I'm selling a bunch of plastic, but it's nothing that's hands-on, and I like being able to just be, distracted, working with my hands and everything. And plus, if I'm working with leather, I'm happy. So
yeah, he's so good with the leather work too.
Yeah, goes to town. So my question for you, Eros, is obviously this is a business now that you're making it. It's not just a hobby. It's not just something that you do as like your pastime. What was that transition when you started getting into 3D printing? Did you start with foam leathering, and how was that progression into 3D printing?
Yeah, so when I started, it was all EVA foam. Like my first Robin suit, my first bat suit, everything was just like I even like did it to where I put the foam underneath like an athletic shirt and then used contact cement to adhere it, and so it looks like I really wanted it to look like the Ben Affleck suit, and obviously like it wasn't that great at the time. But then I switched over to doing the armor on top. And I had a bunch of practice with EVA foam over the years. I mean, when I was 10, I made my first suit, and it was the Dark Knight, and it was literally just all EVA foam. And so I had plenty of years to get a lot of practice on that. And then eventually I noticed how much more details you can get with 3D printing, and you save a bunch of time too, especially if you're doing it yourself. So then, yeah, I started looking at that, and it ended up being obvious that was the way I should go.
Yeah.
And what's nice is that 3D printing has gone a lot better. Like, the machines are a lot better than what they were at the time, probably when you started this. So,
and a lot of people are good at making files too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they are. Those files are lifesavers, man. You do it from scratch.
Oh, man. Yeah. For sure.
I mean, I just had a guy make a bunch of like buckles and this giant Honshu sword for my vigilante suit, and I literally just sent him some pictures. I sketched some stuff up, and I was like, "Hey man, can you make this?" And then he gave me a quote and everything, and man, it came out literally perfect. It was screen accurate and everything. He got every last little detail. Yeah, I actually have it, and like I haven't printed anything up yet because the sword is like 30 inches long. And I'm so excited to print that thing out. But yeah, it's gonna be insane. This suit is probably gonna be one of my favorites that I've ever made.
Oh man, we're really excited for that, man.
Yeah.
You guys have all seen Peacemaker, right?
Yes, we have.
I haven't actually.
Yeah, I've seen a few episodes. Like,
what? You guys haven't finished it?
Nah, man, I've been working. Like this boy, he's working hard too. It's the orders and all that.
I'm absolutely obsessed with that show, man. And then like Freddie Stromo, who played Vigilante, he like, for me, he was an absolute scene stealer, and that's also what really made me want to make this costume, because I don't know, every character in that show I was just so invested in. And yeah, I really couldn't say any more like good things about that show. It was absolutely insane, and clearly it translated well to me. I mean, I'm going all in on this thing.
Did you know that he actually they had somebody else hired to play Peacemaker, and he did the first like 5 episodes, and he was like older dude that like, dude, I've seen pictures of him and I was like, dude, not the vibe.
No, he's not.
And so a lot of these scenes, even in like the first couple episodes, they're still like shot to where,
because you can see like his like face a little
well,
bit.
he's in a couple of like those scenes where his mask's on, but like basically like, yeah, they had to reshoot him in a way that he was still in the shots and stuff, but like such a
Pretty
good,
much like halfway through the season he got brought on, and I saw the other guy and I was like, maybe he would have done a good job, but he looks older than John Cena, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, this guy Vigilante's more of like a little annoying ass brother to Peacemaker. So like I think Freddie Stromo was just like an absolute perfect casting.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
I'm happy that they actually were able to bring him on.
So Eros, I have a question for you, because let's face it, people who have 3D printed models or items, know the thing when it breaks. It's a pain in the butt, especially when you're at conventions. So Eros, do you have any like quick fixes? Like when someone has like their 3D printing item just break on the spot, what's a good, adhesive that you would recommend for those?
I mean, if your print breaks mid-con or something, you are pretty much like up a wall in most cases. Because I mean, you can get some super glue and put it right on the edge and everything, and then just wipe it down. You're still gonna have a giant line.
Yeah, for sure.
Down
Yeah,
your print, and it's gonna throw off the whole look. But yeah, if it comes down to like having to get a quick fix, then I would just say some super glue. Maybe I would also like glue some little rods. If I can just find like, I don't know, a little wooden dowel or something, slide it in to one of like the little holes in the supports, glue that on, and then glue it to the other one so that it has a little more structural integrity. A lot of times what I do, if I get a broken piece and I want to be able to fix it like from the inside, I would take some filament and then I would get my my soldering iron and then basically weld it in place. And so you're just melting all that filament on, and then you just basically 3D printing it. And then it's a really good fix because it's basically the same thing as it would be if it was 3D printing. Not as pretty, but it definitely does the trick. No, there's also these like sprays that are really good for like super glue. You spray it on and it helps it set quicker and stuff, and it like, I don't know, I think it gives it like a protective coating as well, and that stuff is really dope. And I was thinking about getting some of that because I use super glue like
buddy,
it's a religion for me.
Buddy of mine has that spray stuff, and I had something pop off and break, and he just came, threw some super glue on the back, sprayed it,
real one,
and it was just like bam, 30 seconds, and it was
really you're like my guy.
Honestly, having those little fix-it kits do save.
It was the buckle on the Captain America harness that's right here.
Oh yeah,
that has like I was getting out and the seatbelt snagged on it.
Oh yeah,
broke in half. It was just a resin piece. I thought it was a little thicker. Plus, it is coming up on like 10 years old. So
it's true.
Yeah,
dang dude.
Yeah, things do break after a few years.
I got all those bits. So
okay, so our next question I have for you is, do you do a lot of like sanding, or what would you give somebody that is wanting to start doing this? How would they start? Like, I mean, I've been getting used to it, but I want to know your process of sanding something down.
Yeah. So basically, I don't sell any like sanded parts or any of that because I mean it's a very time consuming thing to do, especially since I in the past I would have done it if I wasn't doing leather. Then of course I can sell fully finished and painted parts, but the leather takes up so much of my time that I cannot do that and then say that it's going to come in a 1 to 2 week window.
Oh,
because
for
I know
sure.
that would just back everything up and I would, I would look bad. So yeah, I basically just leave that to everyone, but I'm more than happy to like give everyone tips and tricks on everything and tell them what I use. Yeah, basically I'll just use Rust-Oleum filler primer. It's just a thick primer. You put it on and you just sand that down. And then for like thicker parts, like for more rigid print lines, I'll use Bondo glazing and spot putty, which is basically like, it's like toothpaste. You just wipe that on. It's like a dark red. It dries to like a light, and then dude, that thing sands so easily too. It's a lifesaver.
Nice.
I have a quick question then. So you don't start the sanding process by doing like 150, 200, 400, then an 800 to 1,000, because that's normally what I do, and then I will resand it. Do you just spray paint it and then you resand that, and it works for you like that?
So basically, I'll like do like a super light sanding of the main print with just like a 180 or an 80, and then I'll do that first 2 coats of primer. Just make sure that everything's like a little more leveled out, and make sure that I'm not getting any drips. And then I'll start at about a 150 or usually a 220, because 220 for me does the trick most of the time. Especially if I also, my print lines are very thin, so you don't have to do as much sanding as usually. So yeah, and then I'll work my way from like 220, then I'll go to 300, and then usually I stop by 400. Sometimes I'll go up to 600, but yeah, usually I only use about 2-3 grits.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah, and for people who don't know, we are
Mm-hmm.
talking sandpaper grit when we say 200, 400, and whatnot.
Right.
All right. So then, because we are kind of talking about like what people should know if they're trying to get into this, I'm curious, for just one printer, what do you think that does to an electric bill?
One printer, you'll be fine. You can get by. That's like, I don't know, that's probably like running a PlayStation and an Xbox constantly or something.
Constantly. It's a little bit of like,
Yeah.
So that's kind of a lot though.
Especially, yeah.
In the long run though, you will be saving money on, I mean, if you're spending money on prints, you know, you're going to be saving probably another $60 by doing it yourself, because those things are investments. For me, I really couldn't say like how much it saves you on, or how much it'll cost on electric bills, because I mean, with the amount that I have, it puts a dent. But
does it? Is your y'all's
not
electric
everyone
bill
wants
crazy?
to get 1430 printers.
Well, probably during the summer, especially. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably. Does it go a little crazy, bro? Like sometimes that electric bill be hitting.
Yeah, but usually it's not as bad as I assumed it would be. And plus, since it's a business, you know, it's necessary. Everything pays off. So,
And I'm sure a good CPA will be able to figure out how to write that off on your taxes too.
Oh, yeah,
like,
that's true.
yeah,
literally for your business.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Because I mean, and basically anything that I do for this shop, I write it down as work. Like if I gotta go drive out and get a printer repaired or buy some leather, I'm like, hey, that gas money is for work, and I was working here, going over there, you know.
For sure.
So in order to like help promote your work or even support your work, like if people are interested in getting your stuff, where can they go to check out some of your items or even just buy it or start talking about getting commissions?
So it's Backstage Cosplay Shop on Etsy, all one word. And yeah, literally anyone can just message me anytime, or on Instagram, it's Backstage Cosplay. And yeah, I will literally reply at any time. Anyone can just ask me questions or talk to me about if you want a custom order or anything. And yeah, I'm always open to anything.
Yeah. Eros, thank you again, honestly, for coming on board, talking to us about like, you know, stuff that you're into, sharing a little bit of your wisdom in this trade, because honestly, it's just kind of cool when we bring creatives on. And so you sharing a bit of your wisdom, us helping promote you, as well as like something what we're all about here at Cos-Bros.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, definitely. And so if you ever need a Mandalorian gear, definitely Eros is one of the best shops that I would recommend on Etsy. His prices are actually really good. He's fast, efficient, and like, you know, he's really like about getting the job done and doing a really good job. So like check out his bandoliers are incredible.
They are really good. Yeah.
And also like, just any custom stuff, you can always hit him up. He loves doing it, so it's just a passion.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for having you. Can't wait to hang out with you soon, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll
Coming
see you in
soon.
2 weeks.
Yeah, man.
And
Dude, WonderCon's gonna be so fun.
It's gonna be a blast.
It's
gonna be a blast.
And that's Backstage Cosplay on Instagram, as well as Backstage Studios. I'm sorry, what was it?
Backstage _
Backstage Cosplay Shop.
Shop. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Etsy. Yes.
All right. Hey, well,
It's a mouthful.
Yeah. If you guys are gonna be at WonderCon, we would love to hear you say in the comments. We're gonna like love to meet up with anyone, and
Absolutely,
I think it's gonna be an awesome event. We're really excited.
Yeah, we will be. It'd be great to see everybody again.
Definitely. We're out. You guys have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next time. Cos-Bros are gone.
See ya.